letter from the Knights of Favonius. Sounds like Albedo's back and he's waiting for us on Dragonspine. No time to waste! Let's get going!
So this is the other dirt. If this had been the... So, if you think about it, no. I'm just a little envious, that's all.
Actually, most of the credit belongs to Albedo.
Then again, barely anyone even remembers you at...
Ah, so you three still remember Durin. Looks like the memory loss hasn't spread to close friends. I guess that means my memory of you must still be complete as well.
Albedo.
You're finally here!
Oh.
I think I've pieced together some of what happened to him.
Master Jean filled me in on what happened, and I've got a few theories. But let's get on the same page first. Well, physically, he's doing fine. His body is holding the abyssal power at bay. And there's nothing whatsoever...
So, from an alchemy point of view, there's nothing wrong with him?
The issue isn't so much that the abyssal power within him has gotten out of control. It's that the connection between his will and body is fading. If he ends up losing his conscious will, his body will fall back on its biological instincts. And that's when the abyssal power within it will take over. This book mentioned a witches' gathering. It seems like quite a few of these witches got themselves involved in Durin's case. Which brings me to my theory. Bringing Fairy Tale Durin into this world to replace the Durin on Dragonspine means using one Durin's fate to overwrite the others. But the power of alchemy alone would not be enough to pull off such a feat. It would have required the combined use of Miss Barbeloff's astrology, my teacher's alchemy, and Aunt Alice's magic. After learning of Miss Barbeloff's prophecy, Durin and I finally came up with a way to settle the Dragonspine Durin problem for good. And I took care of the alchemy side of things, which, looking back on it, seems to have been a part of their plan all along. So now... As for the fate theory our friend in the hat just mentioned, I still can't figure out how any kind of magic could possibly influence the fate of Tevat. But I'm certain that the answer lies within this book.
So, the reason Alice had us complete this book was to make that magic possible?
A form of magic powerful in...
Well, we've no time to lose. The next part of the story most likely relates to me. So the memory that
Huh?
The giant tree was home to a broken branch. Join yourself to that broken bough. But first, fetch this...
I see.
Guided by the breeze, the little dragon arrived at an alchemist's workshop. There he was greeted by a clay figure, a child molded by the sage witch's hands. Though gentle in appearance, he had inherited his mother's cold, sharp wisdom. And he was determined to avert the calamity the evil dragon would bring, and so was his helper, none other than the little dragon himself.
What is this?
It looks like it's modeled after...
Albedo?
Hold on. Why do I look like...
Oh, yeah! We forgot to.
At least you're still here.
Well, since Cat Guy has to. But you.
I'd like to know more about that too. But seeing as none of them can explain it, let's just concentrate on moving the...
And just like that, the group stumbled upon a hidden path.
Come on! What are we waiting for? Next chapter, here we come! Ouch!
But this was a chapter that had not yet been written. Ahead of them was a storyless void.
What? Then what's the point of having... Sounds like a pretty bad habit for a writer.
Over here. I found something.
What the clay figure found was none other than the clay alchemy. Yet, guided by only then would the evil dragons.
Sounds like this chapter's about Albedo
If that really was the solution, though, this would have been
There has to be some other reason.
Yeah, I'd like to explore. Ah,
Unless the little dragon kept moving, eventually he would be forgotten.
do you think we could just be it the calamity headed for Mondstadt or my inability to leave behind a story of my own? What if, here in this story, we could finally destroy it?
Could Aunt Alice's magic really allow...
Either way, it's an intriguing idea. I'm not a
It's just... I'm still afraid someday, even you guys will end up forgetting me. But I'm not sure if I can destroy it on my own. So please, everyone...
With the help of his friends, the little dragon destroyed the evil. In his eyes, this would ensure that. But the evil dragon's heart was like a great tree with roots digging deep beneath the surface. Cutting the gnarled roots, the little dragon's story faded into nothingness. And
Who am I?
Is this... me?
And so the story ended, with the little dragon fading from sight.
Oh no! What do we do now?
Hello, children. If you're hearing this recording, it's because you've reached a certain ending. You may have noticed that little Durin's experiences have been written into the pages of this book. Well, you should know that in the same way, its ending will also be written onto him. So be careful, because triggering a bad ending could be somewhat problematic. Let me guess, you're upset that I didn't warn you earlier? Don't worry though, I've thought it all through. I built a very special feature into this book, just for you, the witnesses of this tale. So, go ahead. See if you can turn back the pages. If you're not happy with the ending you've reached, just flip back a few pages and let the tale unfold once more. Pretty incredible, huh? That's the power of magic.
Unless the little dragon kept moving, eventually he would be forgotten. The evil dragon's heart
Looks like we have no choice but to get this done. Whatever happens next, Durin is going to need all of our help.
What the clay figure found was none other than the evil dragon's heart itself. Though the creature had perished long ago, its heart was still there, pulsing away and growing warmer with every beat. And the clay alchemist knew what it meant. That the evil dragon would return one day, just as the prophecy had foretold. Yet, guided by his mother's wisdom, he foresaw another fate. If only the alchemist could bestow this heart upon the little dragon, he might be reborn in the evil dragon's stead. Only then would the evil dragon's heart grow still, and the little one inherit its tale. At last, the little dragon accepted the evil dragon's heart, and a new life came into being. The evil dragon's heart beat in his chest, and the little dragon's soul guided him forward. Thus did the prophecy hold true, even as fate had been rewritten. And so was the little dragon born anew.
Finally! A happy ending! That must be the last step, right?
Born anew, the little dragons.
Huh?
What comes next might be the most crucial part of...
If...
Wow! You're all so serious all of a sudden.
The evil dragon's heart was now one with the little dragon, yet the dark power within it still lingered. Would the little dragon dare to hold this power back, or would he simply give in?
Hey! What kind of question is that? Of course he's gonna control it! What choice does he have?
Time.
What's up with the narrator?
Would he dare to hold this power back? Or would he simply give in?
The little dragon and his companion.
Huh? What's going on?
Once the ink...
I had a
What's happening to the...
Now that the story's ink.
Looks like you've discovered another possible ending. Do not lose hope. You just need to keep searching, for there are possibilities that only you can bring to life.
Would he dare to hold this power back?
Returning to the castle. I just never thought crossing over into a new world would create so much I'm starting to think I kind of missed.
You might look back on it with...
Why?
Sometimes, moving on with your life comes at a cost.
You don't have to worry, Durin. No matter what problem you face, there will always be a solution.
Okay. Sometimes I wish I could just go back and see it again.
As the little dragon slipped back inside the castle's walls, the clamor of the outside world fell away. There was no danger here as soon as his mother and so the story ended, with the little dragon fast asleep in his castle, just like he had never even hatched.
What's going on? I feel so weak.
Hey, what's happening? Darkwood!
Looks like you've discovered another possible ending. Do not lose hope. You just need to keep searching, for there are possibilities that only you can bring to life.
Would he dare to hold this power map? Or would he simply give in?
Ahead of them was a storyless void, and they could go no further.
Not enough ink? Seriously?
Would he dare to hold this power map? Or would he simply give in?
If we go this way,
Returning to the castle.
yeah, you'll just be hiding from.
I see.
Would he dare to hold this power map? Or would he simply give in?
Leave it to me!
The little dragon was at an impasse, and the dark power within unchecked. The darkness and the little dragon's story faded into nothingness. And in the world beyond the castle, only the evil dragon's tale endured.
Is this me?
And so the story ended, with the little dragon fading from sight, leaving nothing but the
Oh no! That means Durin. What do we do now?
Looks like you've discovered another possible ending. Do not lose hope. You just need to keep searching, for there are possibilities that only you can bring to life.
What's going on here? Why isn't the story letting Durin just suppress the abyssal power? It keeps getting stuck.
It seems
So, what now? Did we use too? How are we supposed to write a happy ending with only this much left? But
Well, this is Durin's story. As long as he's alive and well, why should it end?
If there really is such a direct correlation between the story and his fate, I may have a potential hypothesis. Durin was, and still is in essence, a storybook character, written into being by M. From the moment he was born, he has always dwelt within her story. And I suspect that has remained the case, even after his arrival in Tevat. Reviving Durin in the evil dragon's place was an act of grafting this Durin story onto the latter's fate. In essence, that is how his fate was rewritten. But there is a fundamental difference between, as Miss Barbeloth reminded us, the fate of every living being in Tevat has been woven into the fabric of time. Its most natural path, therefore, is to proceed along its given track. But Durin's story, on the other hand, as Durin's connection to this world wore thin, not only have people started to forget him, he started to lose control of the... In other words, his story can't continue.
It would seem the little dragon had made a group of fine friends indeed.
Save it. The question is, are you here to help?
This is as far as
I suppose the final decision is up to me. It's hard to believe I never actually left my mother's story. If that's true, I'd like to go there and see for myself.
By there, I take it you mean the blank pages of the unwritten chapter ahead?
But we still don't even know how Alice's magic works. If Durin belongs inside the story, then going outside of it to some unwritten...
I'm not afraid.
I second that. It would seem this is one answer you need to go seize for yourself.
So be it. Whatever obstacles stand in your way, we'll tear them down together.
anything that invisible. It was the little dragon within the uncrossable edge of existence itself. And all of a sudden, it began to fracture, as if struck by some transcendent will.
Gotta keep going.
Ahead lies only a stormless void.
My consciousness is slipping away.
Keep going, Durin. A pure soul is your essence, not an empty void.
I feel so weak.
Stand tall, Durin. You are not some amorphous idea. The body I made for you is flesh and bone.
Am I truly alive?
Yes, Durin, but you must keep going. You're as alive and real as I am.
I can't feel a connection.
You're not alone in this world, Durin. At the very least, you have me.
I can't remember anything. Who am I?
Your name is Durin, and there are many who still remember it.
My name is Durin.
You're taking too long. Come on, Durin, run! In this world, fate waits for no one.
Wait! Where am I meant to go? What am I supposed to do?
Go make your wish come true, Durin.
My wish?
Your story's not over yet.
Silence, huh? Have you nothing to say about my proposal?
Let me get this straight. You want to graft your story onto this unfinished thread of fate, and in doing so, not only rewrite that fate, but allow the story to live on.
Quite the brilliant idea. Still, the story's survival depends entirely on whether the author keeps writing.
Exactly. And the moment foretold by the prophecy is still centuries away.
I see. I thought my own ignorance might be the problem. That I'd asked more of the noble science of alchemy than it could ever deliver. Or that I had failed to discern the heavenly signs and grasp the secret truth underlying the prophecy. Little did I imagine that time itself would prove to be the greatest hurdle of all.
Well, my friend, this has been a most intriguing experiment. And from an academic perspective, at least, I don't think it was a bad proposal.
Someday, the prophecy will come to pass. So remember, my friend, much like the stars themselves, there will always be something that transcends the test of time.
Thank you, everyone. You've helped me so much already. But, Alice, I still have one final favor to ask of you. Will you lend me your magic one last time, just enough for me to keep his story alive until the prophecy is fulfilled?
You mean you want me to extend your lifespan?
No, not in that sense. As Rheindotter once told me, the laws governing life and death are among the most unyielding in this world. I'm well aware of that. Whether it lasts a day or an age, the span of one's life is determined by fate alone. If I tried to breach that law by force, I'm afraid I would lose what makes me human. This is not a path I want to go down. If I am to die, then I shall die a human.
So, what is it that you want me to do?
I would like you to send this pen of mine into the future.
I see. Then perhaps there really is a way I can help. I could create a kind of story magic to take over the writing once you're gone. Oh, but for it to work, you would need to provide enough of your own words for it to learn from.
How much?
Oh, an immense amount. So much, in fact, that you would have to spend the rest of your life writing. And even then, I'm sorry to say, it would not last forever. No matter how much you write, there is a limit to the number of words you can leave behind. But the world itself will never stop changing. Someday, perhaps, even your entire corpus will not be enough for the magic to continue describing this world. And when that happens, the story will end.
Still, it's worth a try.
Oh, my dear Anya. Even after all this time, you're still... Look at you. You should be enjoying your old age in peace and quiet, especially now that things are finally returning to normal after that terrible calamity.
Once he leaves Simulanka, things will only get more complicated. If his story is to continue, there needs to be more material for the magic to draw upon. I'll just have to skip over some of the less important details.
Anya, why do you insist on sending him out of the storybook world? Why must he face his fate in Tivat? Why not just let him remain within the story? With my magic, even fate's curse could be undone and he could live happily ever after.
I suppose. In fairy tales, all it takes is a heartfelt wish. And even a wooden puppet can turn himself into a real boy and live happily ever after. That's just how fairy tales end, isn't it? But have you ever wondered what happens to the main character after the ever after? Tell me, Alice, in your eyes, what would be a writer's greatest regret?
To leave a story without an ending.
Not a bad answer. It's true, many writers come to consider that their greatest regret. But I see things differently. My greatest regret is that every story I write has to come to an end in the first place.
Anya.
No matter how brilliantly a character shines, the moment their story ends for them, but what if instead?
You mean...
You said it yourself. But I found this ink is for what is even once, and so...
A character.
That way, he'll finally...
And you know... but... First of all, once he arrives and as you gradually hand over creative control, that connection will grow weaker, and at some point, he might lose it altogether.
But at the same time, he'll also have the chance to forge that connection for himself.
The issue is... In fact, it'd be hard for you to leave anything at all to guide them.
We still have the story itself, though. I can use that to show them the way.
It's entirely possible he burns through all your ink, never reaches the chapter you had in mind, and gets stuck, roaming the chapters of his past. But despite all that,
I still believe in what this child can become. His hopes and wishes can be his ink, so he won't be trapped by mine running dry.
What the writer you are, Anya. Your imagination never ceases to amaze. And you do know how much I love a happy ending. You shall have my help, my dear.
Thank you, my friend. Well then, my child. Do you understand what you must do?
Yes, I think I do. It's my turn to keep this story alive.
Then what's holding you back?
What will become of you after I take up this pen?
I will fade away. There will no longer, my child. Or your mother, I should say, passed away long ago. The voice you're hearing is nothing but a magical echo that has now fulfilled its purpose.
I know my mother died long ago. It's just... when you lose...
Durin.
But after coming to this world and traveling it with my friends, I suddenly realized I couldn't just sit around listening to my mother's stories because maybe this is just what growing up feels like. With all, I'm ready to grow up now, Mom.
You've witnessed this story from here on. Now I ask of you, the other pillar of this story, as both its reader and its witness, will you turn the page so the next chapter can begin? Suddenly, and without warning, the powers of darkness struck. The question was, could the little dragon prevail? Alas, it was here that the story witch's tale had to end.
But Durin's tale, on the other hand, had only just begun. Stepping into his mother's memories, he picked up her pen. And so the story that was ending began anew. He had made up his mind to challenge the fate that barred the way ahead.
Looks like this is the final step.
A chance to strike back at fate? Now that's not something that comes knocking every day.
No, that fate no longer defines me. In the end, only my story shall endure.
Lift you up.
Thank you, Mom. And so it was that Durin defeated the darkness and rewrote his fate. But his story is far from over. Is everyone okay?
We're fine, thanks. And hey, we all saw how you fought back there. That was awesome!
I have to admit, I owe you all so much.
Just a shame I could only help out from.
Well, I'm sure you'll hear
Hear what?
the chance to strike back.
Yeah.
Allow me to just check one thing. Yes. The abyssal power within you has stabilized again. And those strange symptoms you were experiencing seem to have completely disappeared.
Oh, thank goodness!
I wonder what it means, though. Aside from the...
Look, it all turned out fine. So just leave it at that. Now that.
You're leaving so soon? What, don't humans usually throw a party after something like this?
A party? Do I look like that kind of guy? Anyway, come find me again next time you're in trouble. That's what friends are for, right?
In a way, though, he is right. This is Durin's moment.
Hey, I don't blame you for.
It's all right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then. Traveler and Paimon?
Okay, see ya! So, it's party time next? Huh?
Congratulations on completing your mission. Now then, as per our agreement, it's about time you returned that book.
She must have known the moment we finished! Just like she said she would!
I've heard dressing appropriately is a must for socializing.
La la la. Da da da. Da da da. Woo.
The Raker of Solnari. Let's keep this new. But if this Rarier is.
Yeah. Things might be. Exactly. Whatever the case, as it happens.
Thank you. In addition, the winds of whether our foe is the Fatu.
Let's see.
Friendly approach detected. We meet a.
Listen, listen! We've got updates on the Wild Hunt situation.
Threat level exceeds expectation.
Phew, doesn't matter if he's the Rahira. You were there when we fired it. True. Well, we'll just get enough to go grab. You're not taking this seriously at all. Anyways, firepower is not a concern. See those canisters over there? That's all concentrated Kuvaki, which we'll be shipping to Nasha Town. More than enough ammo in there to blast that Fatui research facility to bits in a single shot. You sure have been. Of course! This is gonna. Sure.
I know.
Oh, right. Remember that Sosi guy? The Ratnik in charge of firing the cannon? Wait, what? Didn't we just see him, like, have it? Yeah. It's still new news. So, not many people are in the know. I'll send Anafa over to Nashi Town with some Oh, he seemed like a good guy. Didn't put on any airs despite being.
The data concurs. This gentleman appears to have been one of the most accomplished amongst the Lightkeepers, Sergeant Mate. His character has also.
Oh. Hey! What? Either way, I'm not clued in on the details. Only you got it. Let's go then. You coming along, Anafa?
My tasks are incomplete.
All right. We'll see you later. La la la. This must be it. Oh. Doesn't look like there's any chance of us getting in with that Ratnik guarding the door, though. Should we go speak to the guard first?
Might as well try squeezing blood from a stone.
Ah! Never!
I came over to take a look as soon as I received the news just now. Aino told you about this then? Before we start, shall we see if we've made the same guess? Indeed. Keep your eyes peeled.
but
Just follow me.
I'm sorry, but we're not open to guests right now.
Sorry about that. They're here to investigate.
All of that?
The paperwork checks out.
All right then. Enter.
these bombs so heavy. Paimon might have said this before, Never, but you sure do come prepared.
Shishich, my old friend. Fill us in, if you would.
Greetings. If you would allow me. The murder happened not long ago. The Sergeant Major was killed by a single piercing strike from a polearm. We have performed a preliminary sweep of the crime scene to facilitate investigation. No obvious signs of a violent struggle. No damaged doors or windows. The culprit must have used some other means to enter the room unopposed before performing the deed.
Entering unopposed? So, do you think there's a chance that the culprit would usually have right of entry?
At the moment, the most valuable lead we have is based on an eyewitness report from a nearby resident. Specifically, that Flint's was seen entering at...
Flint's?
We have tried to contact him, but...
Very odd indeed.
So, he's the prime suspect right now, right?
To be honest, I'm not particularly He also had no disagreements with the Sergeant Major that we... But neither the eyewitness report nor the nature of the fatal wound itself are in his favor. So we are looking for him at present.
Looks like there's not much else to dig up here. So, the evidence points to Flint's, and he just so happens to have disappeared. We know that this Flint's could have been Rerir in disguise, but we lack the evidence to prove this to anyone else. Furthermore, Flint's has left us with many questions, all of which will require a reasonable explanation.
Yeah! He said he would report back to headquarters, but it seems he hasn't gone at all.
Let's approach the issue this way.
Yeah! What
None, as far as I know.
Yeah! They would have often gone—
Yes, but there's one. This means that he has been hesitant to abuse this ability, or allow it to become common knowledge. Likely, so—
But no matter—
Precisely. He likely knew then that the real Flint's would not appear and get in his way during this time. We'd have to ask, and there are other, less likely scenarios. For instance, Rerir may have already killed Flint's. Yes.
Then we've got to—
Steady now.
We've tracked him down to a beach north of Nasha Town. The Wild Hunt is present too, so we're putting a force together. I'll have you know that this is top secret information.
Don't worry. The beach is all yours.
Oh right, before we go, should we reveal Rarir's secret? Since he's trying to keep it all hush-hush. Hey! What?
Oh, I was just imagining, setting aside the matter of evidence, tossing him into a swirling tube, and think about it. Once people learn that he can masquerade, unease grips.
Yeah, you're right.
Indeed. But just in case, let me stress one. This light source is of special Lightkeeper design. It provides illumination within Wild Hunt anomalies.
Oh, right. We'll have to deal with that mess, too. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Hey, you! Lucky all my new bombs are waterproof. Whoa! The fog's really rolling in. Is that a Lightkeeper's lantern? Is there someone up ahead? Come on, let's go see! Monsters! Boing, boing, boing! This monster was lurking near the lamp. That must have been a planned ambush. We're not falling for that again. There's something inside it. Some small device. Huh? Why isn't it giving off light anymore? Is it broken? We better take it with us. La la la. The fight took place here. Did Flint's leave these marks?
Is someone there? Please, help me!
Isn't that Flint's voice? Did you hear that? But is that really him? Ah! We'll be in trouble if these spooky shadows touch us! Quick, use the lantern!
Hand it over. That was mine from the first. You're a fool. You again.
What the? It's stronger than before. Lantern, now!
It escaped again. This situation speaks for itself, I presume.
So, you were tangling with Rarer out here all by yourself.
So, that vile phantom hiding inside the Wild Hunt has a name of his own.
Yeah, you don't look so good.
Sorry you had to see me like this. All the same, you have my sins. To think you had the power to so easily cleanse the filth staining the lantern, which tormented me so. Might I ask what magic that was? Or whose pupil you are? I believe I might have saved some face had I mastered just a fraction of such abilities. And an enviable constitution it is. A pity that such abilities cannot be.
Why did abyssal power just burst out of your lantern anyway?
I sensed a power surging within it that was at once familiar yet strangely illusory. I freely confess to being an avid collector of. Afterwards, I wound up collecting a few more such. It was only recently that they began slowly emitting abyssal energy.
Is that what Rarer claimed belonged to him?
I concur. And here's the kicker. But I noticed while engaging him that the crystal fragment would restrict my powers. As such, it occurred to me that I should hide it rather than tangle with him any longer. Alas, he has proved most fixated upon this fragment. And for some reason, his strength has grown by leaps and bounds since. And where, might I ask, would it be safe? Or do you think it wiser I threw it away? Were our places switched, would you discard it, knowing that its perilous might was beyond your ability to counteract, yet capable of causing greater harm should it lie beyond your grasp?
Yeah. Throwing it away would mean giving the bad guy what he wants. But exposing...
Only those who shoulder risks are qualified to welcome in the turning of the tide. Those who flee... Though I shan't deny that I have your fortuitous... Either way, it seems this fragment is now... I imagine this wasn't the only reason you came looking for me, though?
Well, no, but...
Ah. I see. To use the Lightkeepers to find me, I suspect. I did not inform anyone of my true whereabouts, so they alone have the ability to quickly they usually don't pay my whereabouts.
You mean this?
Yes. Where did you pick this up?
We found it inside a lamp.
It must belong to a
Guess it's not surprising how they...
Were he to use it, that device would likely fail to act as it should.
Ah.
So not only is this Rerir ruthless, but a purveyor. You might not be familiar with Sergeant Major. Our deployments are subject to orders from headquarters. And he worked so hard.
Oh.
But every year in truth, everyone the higher-ups would think he's due, whereas his subordinates would think. So he waited. And he waited. One that has played out many times throughout history. Another reason to take... And yet, what did the Sergeant Major have to do with any of this? Why did he...
Could Rarer be angry?
Could you... We shall just have to exercise...
There is no escape! Inazuma shines eternal! Shine down!
Let's dance! Hi! Oh! Go, barbecue!
Riptide!
Take them. I have no need.
Illusion shot!
Dumpy dumpy go! La la la! Boing boing boing! Yeah! Yeah! Sparks and blast!
Shine down!
Jumpy dumpy go!
Torn to oblivion! There is no escape!
You can run, but you can't hide. Ha! Yeah! Yeah! Yeah!
Now you shall perish! Illusion shattered!
La la la! Jumpy dumpy go!
Riptide! No time to lose.
Let the show begin.
Inazuma shines eternal! Shine down!
More treasure! More treasure! These bombs, so heavy. Dodoko? Dodoko, where are you? These bombs, so heavy. These bombs, so heavy. Do you want to come fish blasting with me? I'll get grounded for a whole day, but it's way worth it because the fish tastes so good. escape. Jumpy dumpty go! Throw them all out! Torn to oblivion! Shine down! Absurd! Illusion shattered! Let's dance!
The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory. But a momentary distraction.
I'll protect us. Maybe there's even more buried below! La la la. Woo! Da da da. Totoko? Totoko, where are you? La la la. Da da da. Woo! Maybe there's even more. Below. La la la. Da da da. Woo! Da da da. La la la. Cleo is a brave girl today. I found a really weird-looking lizard. Want me to show it to you? Da da da. These bombs, so heavy. Maybe there's... more buried below! Yeah. Let the show begin.
I could get used to this.
Let's dance.
No time to lose. No time to lose. No time to lose.
Add as. Thank you for
No time to lose.
I understand the situation more or less. Much has happened, I see. Either way, I suppose we were lucky not to receive a warm welcome on the way over here. It seems my fellow Lightkeepers do not wish to make this case public just yet.
Yeah. Guess Nasha Town's already been enough of a mess lately.
Let's stop here. Any further and the Ratniki might detect us. Since you two can enter, I'll have to request that you kindly pick me up once you're inside.
Oh? And how are we supposed to do that?
You'll know when the time comes. See you later.
Still acting all mysterious. But he seemed pretty confident, so guess we've got to trust him. Hello?
Ah, you're the special assistants for the.
Yep, that's us.
Well, you're just in time. We're basically done investigating the crime scene. All that's left is to finish writing up some records. Then properly dispose of Sergeant Major Sosi's remains. If there's anything else you'd like to look into, this is your last chance to do so. Sadly, no. The motive behind the killing remains a mystery. And while but considering that Nefer from the Curatorium of Secrets came forward to help investigate, I have no doubt.
We'll do our part too.
For now, please keep the current situation confidential. For now, please keep the current situation confidential. For now, please keep the current.
Phew, we're in. Thanks to Nefer's reputation, once again. But we still... Something the matter? Huh. That looks like Flintz's lantern. But where is he exactly? Well, we've got the lantern, What now? Oh, Paimon almost screamed out loud.
This lantern may have a I calculated that you would have already entered, so I chose a spot as I thought.
The perk.
Your composure is more impressive, but let us leave such trivial topics for a more relaxed moment. Just as I thought. Identical powers must flow from the same source. It was the wild hunt, then, that took my form and killed the—
To sow chaos by depriving the—
If the wild hunt's true form is powerful enough to stand against the world as you, he would have no reason whatsoever to pick war. Let's look again more closely. Well, that makes things simpler. In that case, allow me to disturb the fallen. When we fought, he seemed like quite a reckless foe. Certainly.
Oh, if we can't get any lead. Oh. You mean...
I'm not well versed in machine.
No, that's not right. It doesn't mean that the components are damaged. It just means that they're due for regular maintenance, so the device has stopped operating. But the real problem is that... Yeah, he even helped us find the maintenance port. It could still be a coincidence, but considering it hasn't been long at all since we were repairing that cannon...
The Soci you met could have been Rerir in disguise. In other words...
That's right!
You mean hints...
We had a short chat with him once at the tavern, but...
I know where he lives. The situation is critical, so let us now take up the role of uninvited guests ourselves. Ah, yes. And one more thing. Remember to pick me up by the window.
Now I just need to get my hands on the rest. Not bad. Not bad at all. All right, now we're talking. No time to lose. Yep. All right, now we're talking. Yeah.
Oh, it's you two. On Flint's. Given the hour, I guess it must be an emergency.
It is indeed. Our sincerest apologies for interrupting your rest. We are investigating a certain matter in connection with Sergeant Major Sosi. We'd like to know if he has sent you a request for maintenance to be performed on his mechanical arm.
Sosi. Oh, so the rumors I heard, are they true? You know what? Forget it. I'm sure it's complicated. No further questions from me. Just a moment. I need to check my records.
Thank you for your understanding.
Got it. 8 days ago, he came to request a round of regular maintenance. But as it happened, I had run out of the required components. His mechanical arm is especially sophisticated, having been designed by Aino personally. The parts, too, could only be made by her. As such, they usually take several days to arrive. In fact, this time, he even asked me if we could push his request forward. And I understood, completely. Not being able to use your hand, that's rough for anyone. But even more so if your job involves fighting out in the wild. So I did my best to convince Aino to rush the job. And eventually, the parts arrived. 3 days ago, what's it?
You've provided us with some very... We can't make everything public yet.
No worries. Just glad I could help.
Thanks.
Good night. Hope the investigation goes well.
It seems that it is as we guessed. The Sergeant Major Sosi you encountered while repairing the cannon was 8 days ago. He had, with the immense gap in strength between them, the job was finished in a single... Perhaps his mastery of shapeshifting extends only to outward form.
You're saying he thought no one would realize his mechanical... Still seems like there's a lot of guesswork involved here, but it mostly makes sense.
This also has me... But how would that help? Assuming he plans to collect the fragments with...
So we solved one mystery, only to dig up another. Whew. This is getting Paimon kind of down. And sleepy, too.
Yes, I'd say it is high time we took a break. Seems like there's a lot we'll have to fight for Rear eventually. And we'll do a poor job if we're not well rested.
Yeah, we should totally get some sleep first.
A reasonable suggestion. I have no doubt that my quarters have been... My colleagues have never failed to live up to...
Well, guess we'll just have to pick...
That would be good, yes. Feel free to put the...
Phew, back inside. Whew, we can finally take a breather. Okay, Paimon.
Had you already sensed the unique power? I see. Words truly do fail to capture your superlative insight. Fortunate then that abyssal energy was only leaking from the fragment in minutes.
Yeah, hard to say how that would have played out. We've had a whole bunch of unpleasant run-ins with the Abyss.
You mean to ask why I'm going...
Yeah! You're covered in more mysteries than Paimon could shake a skewer at. You can't just get out of it.
All right, your deductions have been quite correct. Should one wish to conceal oneself, you know humans well. But some things that humans would consider different...
So...
Have you heard of how Snezhnaya was once the realm of the Fae? This race is no longer of any importance.
We've heard some scattered legends, but...
I once turned my heart toward humanity, and thus did I experience loss. When you realize you are floating in the middle of a vast ocean, would it not be better then to simply sink? But before I could sink to truly lightless depths, chance had it that I should be awakened by a band of Ratniki. They were facing a horde of abyssal monsters. Those who dwell in darkness for long enough become exceedingly sensitive to all...
Is that why you chose to help them?
Perhaps I was moved by their valor. Perhaps I simply saw my past self in them. But I was freshly awoken, and the survivors and I buried the fallen heroes. That was the origin of the final night cemetery. Well, not exactly.